Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and for this video we're going to be going over the next and somehow last reviews of the Giant Rare, because I was just informed today that Black doesn't get Giant Rares because we don't need cards from Draft Box at all. Like, it's not like you'll release some of the best cards in Draft Box, minus some of the stuff I'm going to get into, and then just shafted Black. Okay, so let's actually get right into it. We got yellow and green today, and I'm gonna try to keep my salt out of my voice if there is still, again, no Black, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first one we got here is Metal Cooler Core Giant Force. It is a 2-drop, unless you decide to pump more into it, 15k. And it's activate main. Once per turn, choose up to one of your Metal Cooler tokens or yellow Meta Cooler cards, and it gains blocker until the end of your next turn. Cool. +1, activate main. Play one Meta Cooler token in rest mode. Meta Cooler tokens have 15,000 power, just like the 2-drop card, and 5k combo power. Then you've got -4, activate main. 3 yellow and X. If your leader card is yellow, choose up to X of your opponent's cards and switch this to rest mode. Okay. I don't think anybody needs help knowing this card is kind of doo-doo. Like, absolute doo-doo. I'm sorry, brother. Very close to my heart, but you were looking for a card to bring yellow Meta Cooler back. It was not this card. But I mean, it is cool in terms of flavor. He makes tokens. But you guys know that one of the most popular Black cards to be playing around splashing people's decks is Identity, Mass Sand. So it's like Secret Identity Mass Sand. So you can't really go around just spamming tokens in the field without expecting those mans to get blown up. Not to mention that card will take 3 of your Meta Cooler cards and then all of your tokens. So this card is just flimsy by design. And then you got, the playing the Meta Cooler token, which is within line, same thing. It's cool that it makes a blocker, but everything about this archetype is kind of flimsy. And then it's -4 is it's just abysmal. Like, it doesn't ignore barrier. You gotta play, like, if you tap 4 energy, you are tapping 1 card for a -4, might I add. Like, this card is, woo. Yeah, yellow received the shaft this set, honestly. Just in Vermilion Bloodlines and apparently Draft Box too. Like, there are some gems, like that double Bloodlust card kind of baked in. But this is not it. This is not it remotely. I'm gonna move on. And then what is his art? What is he doing? This isn't even PG-13. Like, help. So moving on to the next one, we have got Purunga Giant Force. And Purunga Giant Force, cool, it's a 1-drop at base, and you got a permanent. This card cannot attack. Activate main. Once per turn, add a marker to this card. Okay. Activate main, choose one, which is a -1. Draw 1 card, and then, or you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and it can't be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn. And then it's -3, is choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, negate its skills for the turn, and KO it. Okay, so I mean, it's a 1-drop 15k, so it's gonna be a little harder to get this guy off the board. That's one of its saving graces. The fact that every turn you can add 1 marker is pretty cool, but the fact of the matter is he starts off at 1 marker if you play him on turn 1. Meaning, your opponent can swing and just combo 1 card and he's dead. So you're generally going to want to play him as a, well, he's not going to be dead because you're going to add 1 counter to him, but it's not that hard to start putting pressure on him. You can literally play 1-drop that takes a life and goes up and swing on this man, and then swing with your leader and combo card, and he's dead even through his play on turn 1 +1. So you might want to be playing him on turn 2. Either way, a little flimsy, but he's able to add 1 marker to himself a turn regardless, and that's kind of cool. His -1 is neat. The only issue is that I get that it gives you a choice, but most unisons nowadays will +1 you to draw a card or draw a card, discard a card. So the fact that he has to -1 to do the same effect, even though I get it, he's giving you a choice, is kind of lackluster. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode. Yeah, that's cool, but the card already had to hit the board and do something. Okay. Okay. Now his -3 seems like it might be good, right? Well, it doesn't ignore barriers, so you can't target a card that has barriers. So even if you're negating the effects and killing it, you know, if it's got barrier, you can't touch it. But this is kind of cool. If your opponent has swung with a Gotenks and you're playing yellow, you can negate its skills, pop it, and that way it's not going to be able to give them cards back. So its -3 isn't bad. It's just that I'm not sure if this card is getting there in the first place. No matter where you play it, it might be a little awkward, but hey, I mean, it has some staying power. If your opponent decides to put all of their resources and a combo card into killing this on their turn 1 if they're going second, then by all means, let them do it. I mean, this was bait. You paid 1 energy and plussed it, and they decided to go in to kill it, and that's probably a neg on their part. Next card we've got here is the one that was spoiled when the set first got announced, which is Bergamo Giant Force. Permanent, this card gains 3,000 power for each marker on it. That's Gucci. It's a 1-drop. Auto, once per turn when your opponent attacks this card, add a marker to this card. Cool. +0, add a marker to this card. So it's +1, it's +1, and don't at me, but that's just kind of wild. I didn't realize that before. Like when I first talked about it, I was like, oh, this is so flavorful, but I'm like, why doesn't this +1 do anything but +1 it? They could have said +1, leave a blank, but I guess that would have looked goofier. -2, play up to 1 skillless battle card or Universe 9 card, energy cost of 2 or less from your deck and rest mode shelf your deck. So this is going to allow you to search out a couple of the doggos, some of the other Universe 9 cards. That's pretty neat. I will give that -2 some points. So you can play this. I feel like you were better off playing this on turn 2, because you played on turn 2 and he's going to come out as a 11k, right? And then you can +0 it to +1 it. Again, sounds ridiculous. And he's gonna go up to a 14k. And at this point, you know, they have to combo to get over it, but they still have to combo to get over it. And if they swing on it, this guy's gonna go up at that point to a +17, meaning just comboing on it won't be enough. They have to combo 2 cards. So I feel like playing on turn 2 gives you a little bit of extra insurance, because you played on turn 2, like I said, it's 11k, you +1 it, it's a 14k, they swing, and then it becomes a 17k, and at this point you have to combo 2 cards or combo a 10k to get over it, and that's probably not gonna happen. So he's just gonna eat an attack. I don't know if this card is going to take off, but I love the flavor on this card. I think it's really, really cool, and I think it's going to become a really big blocker, and that makes me happy. So, moving to the green cards. First, we got Cell Giant Force. Alright, this guy's a natural 3-drop. Activate main is a +1. If you choose one of your battle cards and place it in its owner's drop area, you can choose one of your opponent's cards and KO it. So it becomes a +1 to break even, kind of. You kill one of your cards, you kill one of their cards, but you might be killing off a 1-drop in your case and then killing off like a 6-drop in their case. So I don't knock that one too much. It fits with the flow. It's +0. If your leader card is green, choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. Now, so this guy can start attacking your opponent's unisons, and as we can see, this format, unisons that add 2 completely warp the math and just make it very hard to get them off the field. So this is a very, very good card in terms of that flavor. I mean, Gotenks already does it, you know, there are other cards that do it, but it's just very nice to be able to interact with your opponent's unison cards, and green seems to do that the best right now. Then it's -3. 3x. If your leader card is green, choose up to X cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. Now, this card is very weird, this effect, because these X effects have been kind of hit or miss, 100%. Red has burn, yellow has tap down, arguably the worst. Blue has draw, arguably the best. But after draw, this is kind of hot where it is. Now, the part that kind of makes me annoyed is the blue is a -, I believe, 4. And then you have blue X, which is by far the most lenient of this. It's, in fact, blue got unshafted. Like, blue is able to pay 1 and then start dumping energy. Whereas this one, you have to pay 5 to discard 2 cards, which is kind of gross. However, depending on how the deck goes, you know, if there's like ramp, I mean, we know that blue-green exists as a ramp deck. If you are ramping with this sort of thing and you play this card, the ability to -3 it upon the turn it comes down, like, you know, get a swing for 20k, cool. -3 it and maybe pump 4, 5 energy into this. Yeah, the fact that you're choosing to, if you can discard 4 cards, like this guy feels a lot more like his Cell counterpart. He's not in the game, but he is ripping cards from hand. So I'm not gonna sleep on his -3. His -3 with the right deck build or played in the right places can be very, very devastating. The fact that he's gonna neg that hard on people's hands. So I do like that. I do like that. Next card, Hirudegarn, Giant Force. It's a natural 1-drop. Very interesting. These 1-drop unisons. Permanent. This card can't attack if it has 3 or fewer markers on it. There we go. There's the catch. There's the hitch. These effects always hurt really bad. Auto, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. When your opponent combos, place up to 1 card from their combo area in their owner's drop area. Then, negate this skill for the turn. Okay. Activate main, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. That's its +2. And then, there's really strong +2. And I mean, it says, actually, I take that back. I thought it said up to. Never mind. This guy's just gonna discard a card from your hand. It works thematically, but this is just an inherent neg to +2 this card. It doesn't even have a minus. +1, choose 1 of your hero or phantom demon cards and KO it. So this card is basically an enabler for the deck. If you look at the cards from Draft Box, and we'll be going over those in due time, this card is a giant enabler. And basically, it's going to allow you to fill up your graveyard with the cards that need to be there. It's going to allow you to pop your Hirudegarn cards or your Tapion or Minutia cards in order to just be able to start the effect lines. And then, of course, the 15k, but it can't attack unless it has 3, or if it has 3 or fewer markers on it. So you'll have to wait till turn 2 to swing with it if you're playing it on turn 1 at the minimum. Now, the other one, yeah, it's auto. Yeah, okay. When your opponent combos, place up to 1 card from their combo area into their own drop area, then negate this skill for turn. That's a very neat defensive thing, but once again, it is kind of just negging from your hand. But some cases, this is going to be a really good card. You can remove some combo power from it that may change the game, but of course, your opponent is going to probably over combo if they see this on the board. So it's not like it's going to save all. Then we got the last one, unfortunately. Not only because I wish there were more in terms of black cards, but because this is Bio Broly, and I hate this dude. This guy's right up there with Metal Real though for me. I just cannot stand Bio Broly. But here we are with this turd-looking monstrosity. It's also a 1-drop. Its ability: choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If the card is placed in its owner's drop area from a unison area during your opponent's turn, play it from the drop area with 1 marker on it, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. Okay, so this guy's got like a cool little revival feature that's gonna stop him from immediately being waxed. Activate main is a +1. You may choose 1 card in your hand, discard it if you draw 1 card. Okay, mechanically it's inferior because you have to drop your card before you see your new card, but it's still a card that allows you to cycle. Drop a dead card to see a new card. -4, activate main, choose 2 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. Then this card gets 16,000 power and dual attack for the turn. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. It's very interesting that he can keep himself alive, okay? But he's only a +1. If he keeps himself alive, you're starting from scratch. And so I don't see his -4 getting off a lot at all, mainly because he's a 9k. Your unawakened leader on your opponent's side of the board can swing on him and take off a counter. So I don't see this guy -4ing at any time. Now, granted, if he does -4, he is going to do some cool things. So if you play him as a 5-drop, and that's a hefty investment for what this card's gonna do, but play him as a 5-drop, you can instantly -4, take 2 cards from your opponent's hand, and then just, swing 25k double strike. All right, kind of a strong investment, especially since cards like, SS4 Bardock will come down for 3 energy, rip 2 cards, and swing for 30k double strike. So it's kind of a funky card. And then I don't know why its +1 is made the way it is, because we are able to draw 1 and then discard 1 so many times. It's superior in card design. You see a card and then you get to drop the most dead card. I don't know what this take a choice, see this card next kind of deal is, but it is what it is. Sorry if I sound a little negative. It's just that red and blue had such strong giant rares, and then yellow and green were clearly made by another department. It just wasn't the way that I think these cards should have been cool. But, there's some fan favorite cards in here, characters at least. I just kind of wish that green and yellow came with the same heat that blue and red did. And that's my TED Talk, and I wish Black also had cards. So, thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button, that notification button, and I will be back with you guys the next time you decide to join Universe X, which will probably be tomorrow if you like the content, because I upload almost daily. So, see you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Later.